Can I take a shower?
Yeah. She's gonna slick her hair back, she said. Oh.
Do you think this looks good tied, or should I have it like that other way where you just like
I like it tied like hen. I like it.
You know, like frumpy and like old ladyish kind of.
Yes. Do you have your sunglasses? Okay.
Yes. Who's Biff? Biff is gonna be Greg now, because Damien has to be the leading role. I wrote down the parts actually on the. Martin Food Products is the fictional name of an actual company, which became tainted by employee thievery and fraud. In order to protect the names and identities of those involved, names have been changed, but the facts remain very real. The true beginning of Martin Food Products' dilemma, involving two of its model employees, actually began 28 years ago, when a hardworking 15-year-old boy named Harvey Abbott applied for a job in Martin's main office in Chicago, Illinois.
I really want this job as office boy, sir. I know I've only had 2 years of high school, but I'm a hard worker and I'll do a great job. I swear, I've always dreamed of working at Martin Food Products.
Well, son, it's really not a hard job. Not even a foot in the door, so to speak. If you're looking to find a real career here, I think you're wasting your time.
Well, actually, I do see it as a great chance, an opportunity, a chance to help out my family.
I wish all the boys had your spirit. Okay, if you want, you can start tomorrow.
How about today?
Okay. Go downstairs to personnel and fill out the required forms, then come back up here.
Thank you. You won't be disappointed.
Through the years, Abbott worked diligently, outperforming almost all of his peers. Through hard work and determination, he advanced from a mere office boy through a series of office positions. He eventually became the supervisor of 7 employees. Even though he excelled in his position, Abbott yearned to join the sales force, where he felt that earnings potential would be much more lucrative, which he really needed to support his large family.
Come in.
Hey there, Harvey. Just wanted to personally let you know that your department was #1 in sales again this month. That's 7 months in a row. Congratulations. You're doing a great job.
Thank you, John. It means a lot that you have come down to let me know. I'm sure I'm trying hard. I guess it's actually working.
Anyway, what are you still doing here? There's a company softball game right now, and I wanted to see if you wanted to go with me.
Well, actually, I don't have the time. I'm applying for a transfer for the sales department again. And then I've got some employee review forms to fill out.
You're applying for a transfer again? If you ever get that transfer, you will be missed. We really value your work, Harvey.
I really do love this job, but with 5 kids and the wife, a little more money would help.
Well, I've got to run. I got to get to that softball game. Good luck with your transfer.
Bye, John.
We're lucky to have him.
Finally did get that transfer to the sales force. After 24 years of service, at the age of 39, the promotion required him to move to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where he promoted the company's canned food line by working in the South Side grocery stores where they were sold. Among his duties were building displays, aiding in-store managers, holding promotions, and holding demonstrations. He was an immediate success in his new job. Joe Fuller, his sales manager, attributed his success to his basic familiarity with the company and its products, which had been built up over 24 years of honesty and hard work. No matter what it was attributed to, he was an instant success.
Beverages in a matter of days. The contest and rebate offer are the first of its kind for beverages.
I think you're right. Thank you for staying to help. Gosh, it's past 2 a.m. I didn't mean for you to stay this long. Oh, I feel bad. Your son is in the hospital too, isn't he?
It's just a routine tonsillectomy. And by working late, it assures my child receives the best care possible. Don't worry, I was glad to stay and help.
Okay, I still feel bad. Let's get out of here and get some sleep.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. That food scene was an average scene, as Abbott often worked late nights to assist store managers. He wasn't compensated for such overtime, but he honestly felt it was an integral part of his job. Unfortunately, These long hours did nothing to keep him from his family, and did nothing but keep him from his family, and did nothing to aid his financial situation, which had grown continually worse due to Milwaukee's higher cost of living and numerous medical bills incurred by his family. This was a sad, sad situation, which 53-year-old Sandra Goldberg, a clerical worker of 35 years at Martin, regarded as very tragic.
I just coming?
Yep.
Hi, Sandy. How are you today?
Oh, the usual, Harvey. How about you? How's the family?
Oh, I'm always doing dandy. 3 of the kids are sick with the flu, though. It's kind of like a chain reaction with that bunch. Little Cherry's kidney infection is doing a lot better, though, so we're all pretty happy.
Maybe you should try another doctor, Harvey. They always...
Here are my reimbursement reports, and try to hurry them up. I gotta make payments on that new Ferrari, Dave.
Biff, aren't these mileage figures kind of high?
Excuse me. First of all, I'm in a position to hire there, so you can call me Mr. Morgan instead. Sandy, not that I personally care. What if their client walks in? Anyways, of course they're high, but that's the nature of the business, darling. If you get out from behind that desk, you'd see. Now I have to run. Ta-ta.
Oh, I just hate that Biff Brogan. In fact, I hate all the stuck-up salesmen. Except you, Harvey.
Don't let the turkeys get you down. But speaking of the reports, here are mine for the week.
Everything looks in order. You keep such clear, concise records. And I can see you don't pad them like the rest.
Now, Sandra, you can't think everyone is a crook. Have some faith in humanity.
Oh, you wouldn't say that if you had my job. There's no way Brogan had 80,000 miles this week.
Now. I definitely don't want to know about that. I do have to talk to you, though. I think my last few checks have been a little high. Maybe you misread my messy handwriting or something like that.
I never make a mistake, Harvey. You have to be a near accountant to foresee your actual check amounts after all the deductions, additions, and such. Don't worry. Now, why don't you go sell or whatever else is on your agenda? A busy man like you can't spend all his time talking to a bitter, cynical old woman.
Okay. I'll see you later.
I'm sure he's even been understating his expensive. That man is a saint. But saints can't live on honesty these days. There, yes, that's more like it.
Yes, Sandra Goldberg was padding Harvey Abbott's expense account as she felt other salespeople were doing themselves. To better understand how she was able to do this, let me explain the process. Salespeople are paid a weekly fixed salary plus expenses. Included in expenses were reimbursements paid for spoiled or dented cans in various stores. Up to $5 cash of spoiled merchandise could be redeemed at one time without authorization. If it was a larger amount, the product would be returned to Central Warehouse and a credit memorandum would be issued. When Arbit directly reimbursed the grocer, they would sign a receipt listing the number of cans, the cost per unit, the total cost of the return. Salespeople attached this to their expense reports. Goldberg's role was to check the expense reports over and report any irregularities to her supervisor, Joe Fuller, who would then approve them. If Fuller was not available, Lee, the office manager, did this. Everyone seemed to approve of Goldberg's work until one day.
Joe, wait! I need to talk to you for a moment. There's something fishy about some of these expense reports in the sales department.
What seems to be the problem?
There's some irregularities that a Harvey Abbott turned in. In fact, some of these receipts look to be altered.
That's odd. Harvey Abbott's our finance worker. Let's talk to Sandra. She's in charge of the processing the expense reports. Hi, Sandra. Can we have a word with you?
Well, I can't exactly refuse, considering you're the boss.
It'll only take a few minutes.
You see these receipts for the spoils payments? Look at some of these smudges. There's differences in the handwriting. Can you tell me why that would be?
I don't have any idea. Well, what is the problem?
Well, besides what I just mentioned, amounts don't match up to some of the original documents. There's a variance in some of the amounts involved.
I'm usually very pressed for time to make deadline each week. I may have made extension errors or additions on accident, but it looks like these amounts are for mere cents. If there are any significant errors, Joe would have caught them. I'm afraid nobody's perfect in a fast-paced office such as this. But what about...
I believe Sandra's right. The error on this one, for example, is $2. That could easily slip through our fingers. That's why we hire people like you. Why don't we adjourn to my office now to discuss the financial statements for this quarter? Thank you, Sandra.
You're welcome.
I think there's more to this. She was acting very suspicious. I need to question her more.
I'm afraid you may be right. Why don't you investigate some more and tell me what you find?
Later that night,
Come here.
Am I ready?
This is amazing! There's about $1 to $2 extra every week for almost 4 years on every one of Abbott's reports. My God, they were stupid. The handwriting doesn't even match. What a collusion, what a conspiracy. I knew it.
those reports, the next day Williams and Fuller decided to call Abbott in for a meeting.
So you deny that you and Ms. Goldberg have been working together to pilfer the company from throughout the years? Can you? Your checks have been overcompensating you for over 4 years.
Mr. Williams, I often have items added or subtracted from my expense reports. I never know the exact amounts my checks will be. But I do keep all of my receipts, and I'd be happy to bring them in for comparison. I want my name clear in this matter, because I truly love this company and I have devoted my life to it.
Bring them in.
Abbott did bring them in, which only confirmed the suspicious about the altered receipts. Goldberg was again confronted.
You have lied to me, lied to the company, and lied to God. The proof is in my hands. The alterations are all in your handwriting. You can't possibly deny this.
Oh my God!
This is nothing like my classes at CMU.
Sandra Goldberg had calmed down considerably and thought about what she must do. She called Fuller and requested a private conference between herself, him, and Lee.
Hello, Sandra.
Oh my, I know I must seem awful and bad to you. I've tried to live my life the best I can, and now you must just think.
Sandra, let's be mature about this. You need to calm down and tell us what you've come here to say. I've known you for many years, and I hope that you're not an awful person. I really hope there's some kind of explanation to this.
Harvey Abbott is the most wonderful man I know. He's also the most honest man. And when I saw him tracking his expenses to a T, even understating them, I actually felt guilty for reporting them that way. I know every single other salesperson has their expense reports, and it's just morally wrong that he works so hard and he's honest while they work less and make more money. That man is breaking his back while those others are just learning how to beat the system. So yes, I have been adding a little bit into his expense reports to even the situation.
Did Harvey know about this?
No, I want it clear that he has no knowledge of this whatsoever. He even asked me a couple times if his checks might be too high, but I emphatically denied it. That's the whole story, I swear to God.
Thank you, Sandra.
What's going to happen now?
I honestly don't know.
Abbott was again confronted. This time he admitted wondering on occasion if something might be wrong with his paychecks, but he didn't want to get Goldberg in trouble. He also offered to pay back any extra money he had been paid. This may have easily been taken care of if the allegations had been kept quiet and the rumors quenched. The sales expense reports were being scrutinized statewide, and the situation was getting out of hand. Ralph Christensen, the VP of Martin Food Products, was then called in to make a decision concerning the two employees. His decision will later be revealed, but more importantly, as future managers, what would you do?
It's not often that I'm required to make personal visits to our branch offices. Unfortunately, it seems each time I do, it's because of a situation such as this. I have thought through the facts of this case time and time again. I have considered alternatives and the consequences of such alternatives, and this process has led to my decision. Mr. Abbott, I feel you had definite knowledge of the defalcations, and even though you did not ask for them or cause them, your silence makes you as guilty as Miss Goldberg. Mr. Williams has determined the amount of missed payments to be $175. Upon payments of such amount, you may resign, and be assured of good references. Miss Goldberg, you have violated a supreme position of trust. I know you gained nothing from the situation, but you initiated this fraudulent action, and therefore I must just discharge you from the employment of Martin Food Products. You may leave, Mr. Abbott, Miss Goldberg. Now, Mr. Fuller, we need to prevent this from reoccurring. That is why I am going to recommend several changes in methods of checking such reports.
The end.